one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, have you had a chance to take roll?
I have taken roll. Everybody is present, and you have a quorum.
Great. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Board, you'll see the consent agenda presented this evening. Are there any questions or discussion on the agenda? Seeing no questions, can we entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda passes. We'll move on to the mayor's remarks. The first thing I want to discuss tonight is our 4th of July celebration. I want to show some appreciation to staff for working hard to putting together a really nice free community event for the city of Kearney. It was a great celebration, a great way to the Knights of Columbus, who helped park, the football team parents who helped park, the baseball team parents who helped park, the Lions Club for doing the concession stand, and anybody else that I may have not intentionally left off. It was a beautiful evening, good weather. Noe had a good show, and hopefully everybody else enjoyed that evening as much as I did with friends and family. My brother was in town from Illinois and just had a great time. Next, I want to mention that the House has approved a bill with Sam Graves' earmark of $5.5 million for the interchange funding. Obviously, that's just part of the approval required. We are attempting to find out the potential for the bill to be approved now by the Senate. So before, obviously, we would receive that approval, it does have one. Before we receive those funds, rather, it does have one more step of approval required, but that's looking promising. So I'd recommend if you would want to contact any of your elected officials in the House or the Senate, please do so and let them know what that funding for the interchange can mean for Kearney. Next, I'll want to mention, obviously, I think everybody's aware that we were vandalized. The new Lions Park was vandalized. That was found Saturday morning. I was contacted by staff and myself and staff, and about 30 residents had the park cleaned up, and the park was reopened by 11 o'clock in the morning. So don't want to spend any more time on the individual responsible. I think those individuals have got more than enough time than they deserve. But let's give some time to show some appreciation to the residents that, without being asked, showed up with equipment and chemicals and brushes, along with some anonymous donors who has pledged a $2,500 reward to any tip that would lead to the arrest and conviction to the person or persons responsible. That concludes my mayor's remarks this evening, and we'll move on to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In addition to us applying for the Sam Graves earmark, the city staff also had reached out to the MoDOT Kansas City District, asking them to support a cost share agreement amendment. And we have a brand new district engineer, Chris Redline. I actually met with him before he actually formally took the job, but he has contacted us and has declined at this time to commit additional funding to the I-35 cost share. And I wasn't surprised about this. We'd asked them to remove the $10 million cap so we'd have the confidence to move forward with knowing that the right-of-way acquisition costs have not been finalized. So while we made that informal request, they said they will continue to support our efforts to seek that federal earmark. So we hope that goes on that way.
I appreciate the update on that. I would just like to mention that to me, that's a little disappointing. I don't want to seem not appreciative and thankful for their $10 million of the project, When that started out, it was a 50-50 split. Now we're at like a 70-30 split with the cost of materials and everything increasing. Hoping that they would pony up a little more, but appreciate that update.
Mr. Mayor, we have received word from Moss Burgers that they'll have their tenant out and be able to turn over the house at 103 South Clark and close on August the 31st. So that is what we're looking forward to, is a closing on August 31st. There was a meeting I didn't get to attend today, but we have started working on our use tax evaluation, and we'd like to ask if the board would put on their calendars August the 4th, Wednesday at 6:30. We'd like to try to have a work session with a committee that's been formed for the use tax. So if you guys could just put that down on your calendar for August the 4th at 6:30, and it'd be at City Hall. And if there's any problems with that, we've got time to move it.
Yeah, our plan there is to just make sure that this committee is in line with the vision and goals of the board. So
concludes my report. I apologize. We do have technical issues on our Zoom meeting tonight. We're just using a cell phone for Connect because for some reason our conference phone isn't dialing out. I suspect it has to do with some recent internal computer changes we've made to help have some better security, and I see that it's probably working the wrong way.
Secure we can't get out to the
So
public.
secure we can't get out.
we have no public requests and petitions, no public hearing scheduled, no old business. We have a couple items under new business to discuss.
Mr. Mayor, to reflect the new current numbers of the cost share agreement with MoDOT, and also to get this project continued on to the next step, we have enclosed a proposed ordinance that would renew our cost share agreement with MoDOT. It has been reviewed by Trans Systems and commented on, and you have a new version on your tables that somewhere that MoDOT has revised based on our comments back to them. So we appreciate MoDOT turning that around. This is always, they tell me it's coming. And when it gets here, it has to be done now. So that's why we had to rush it onto the agenda in this manner. But I do recommend approval.
From the board on the updated agreement. Could you read by title only, please?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign supplemental cost share agreement number 3 with MoDOT relative to the I-35 and 19th Street interchange projects J4I 2006 and J4I 2006Z relative to the design and construction thereof.
Make a motion to approve on first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign supplemental cost share agreement number 3 with MoDOT relative to the I-35 and 19th Street interchange projects number J4I 2006 and J4I 2006Z relative to the design and construction thereof.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All aboard?
Alderman Spencer,
Aye.
Alderman Holt,
Aye.
Alderman Lehman,
Aye.
Alderman Barker.
Aye.
Votes unanimous, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we'll move on to the next item of new business.
Mr. Mayor, we are 1 month early, and that is exactly because the Missouri Municipal League has sent me an early bird reminder that came, and I thought, well, I'm gonna follow up on that and get that on the agenda. It is the annual readoption of the annual financial disclosure ordinance, which limits those who have to submit to the full disclosure requirements. All of us are required at certain levels. If anyone has business of $500 in business transactions or exceed $5,000 per year, anyone would have to do that. And with the And with this ordinance, it requires the mayor and the city administrator to file annually.
Any questions on this annual requirement? You read the proposed ordinance by title only on the first reading.
An ordinance of the city of Kearney, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interests for certain municipal officials.
Make a motion to approve on first reading.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, title only.
An ordinance of the city of Kearney, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
it. Aye.
Aye.
Will the board please?
Alderman Spencer,
Aye.
Alderman Holt,
Aye.
Alderman Lehman, Alderman Barker.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous, Mr. Mayor.
Before we move on to Alderman discussion, I would like to, I'm sure the board's on the packet, we did receive a nice thank you note from Andy or Cole Fox. He takes the time to handwrite notes anymore, so I thought that was nice, and thanks for including that in the packet. We'll move on to Alderman discussion. Alderman Barger.
I would like to add my thanks to the community for coming together and taking care of an issue that we had. I've had a couple of people tell me what a great 4th of July experience they had out there on Friday. And, you know, you're always concerned when you kind of do this the last minute and you you're literally buying someone else's show. And so I was a little concerned, but it sounds like I was told it was the best one yet. So I'm thanks to our Parks Department for pulling that together, and thank you to the community for making us look wonderful. I mean, so proud of the way people came together out at the park and took care of the issues that we had. One question we might think about as a board, not today, but lighting along 2nd Street perhaps, or in the park itself a little bit, so that we don't have those dark pocket areas where people can hide and do things that we don't love. So
If I could, I'd our Parks Director would like to maybe update the board on already some work in progress on that subject.
Real quick, we were in contact with Brody Sampson, when we were, getting ready to do the actual opening. I mentioned that it's awful dark really, really dark on First Street around the playground. And, so we got a bid from Brody, and things are ordered. There's gonna be wall pack lights, that will be, shown, in that area to light up, the playground, all of the playground area, all the way up, and include the parking lot. And in addition to that, there's another little light, going to be a wall pack light, and it will illuminate as well in the bathroom area, or old bathrooms that are on the north side of the building. So that will light that area up much more. And Brody said it's going to. So it's been ordered, and when Brody was informed and heard of what had happened, he was upset that it wasn't done yet, but we had just got it ordered, so that's on its way.
great, that's awesome.
Is there any lights on the south side of the building? Light up the spray pad at night?
Yes, actually, the spray pad
That's
gets
pretty dark,
illuminated by the shelter lights in the shelters.
It's getting pretty dark.
And maybe you could address or check with Brody to see if we need to put a wall pack on the south side while he's here.
Mhm. I can do that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Light it up like daylight.
Anything else, Alderman Barger?
No, thank you.
Alderman Lehman?
Just really wanted to reiterate some of the stuff, the fireworks show. Jesse James, I was out there. I had a bunch of family that are regulars at all the concerts, and they just absolutely loved being able to be back out in the open, and you know, I have a nephew that was there. He's I'd have to say he's almost a pyro, and he was very impressed with the fireworks display. So it was nice to have that happen. The only other thing I'd received, and I think some of the other board members have received an email about the senior park up at Prospect and
Yeah.
92, sorry, Prospect and so I think it's something that we need to look at. It's been there for quite a while, and I think it's something that we did the Lions Park. I think it's something that we need to think about. And last but certainly not least, as a Kearney native, I was appalled at the damage that was done at Lions Park. I just really, I hope that the reward money that's out there will help catch the individual or individuals involved. We spent a lot of money on that, and to have somebody do that kind of damage, just not what Kearney's about. And so I was, however, very impressed with when the news got to Facebook. Man, I'll tell you what, it was 99% in favor of the city, and so it was good to see the solid community support behind the splash pad and the park, and kudos to everybody that came in and got it cleaned up. I drove by and saw the people out there. It's like, wow, just it did you good to see that kind of community support in that short of a period of time to get things done and get it back open. So that was really good to see. So
I can tell you, wouldn't care to not smell acetone for a really long time on hot days. Alderman Holt?
First of all, I want to piggyback on Kathy and Dave. I think that our community this is one reason I like serving our community, is that our community comes together in times of need. It's really special to see that. I have a couple other things I want to bring up. First is 19th Street. I think we need to take that back to 35. We did have police down there the other day, and we had 2 police officers, and we had a bunch of people claiming that it was nothing more than a speed trap. I got that feedback from some folks that are living in Stone Lake. Right in front of they brought up someone to me that is right in front of the elementary school. It's only 25 when the lights are flashing. The rest of the time it's 35. So why is 19th Street 25 the whole way? So I would like to see us put the signs back to 35 if we could. That's on 19th Street.
Are you asking for a motion to be placed on the table for board approval?
Yes, actually, I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion to move the speed limit back to 35 on 19th Street.
Do we have a second?
During school hours.
We put it back like it was, like the other one where when it's flashing, it's 25 or whatever, because we got flashers out there too.
I'll second that with the flashing light.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to make it match like what they do with the elementary.
So I have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. My next thing is, I just want an update on the way signs. Do we know anything about that?
That is a great question.
We have
Would you care to share?
changes. Jerry's kind of been updated.
We're
We do
very
have some
close.
changes that have gone back to MoDOT.
so that they can approve the agreement. Those Friday, I have under to check with them. Friday. I believe this will be the last change in order for in order for us to get approval by MoDOT of the wayfinding sign agreement. So then way we can sort of.
We think we just jumped our last hurdle, and that had to do with the posts.
Oh, good.
And the size and structure and, but our signs are amazing, and those are all okayed. Our locations are okay. We have jumped so many hurdles and come so far, and this truly was hopefully our last hurdle. So yes, we should be seeing something. I would like to have them up and in our community before the big 50th Best of James Festival.
Very cool. Yeah.
Alderman Spencer?
I agree with what everyone else said. It's kind of nice to be last. Sweet and succinct. I also will, what David Lehman said about the Hall Senior Park. I also had a couple of conversations, and the conversation was revolved around a park that we have had on our books for some time, and there was some comments about perhaps another park coming in before that one was done. So I would like us to at least look at this again and get something rolling there. And last but not least, I would like to give a huge shout out to Donnie and his crew. They have done an amazing job at the walkthrough with a very rich, beautiful sky blue. They got it cleaned, they pressure washed, and then they painted, and they were able to do it in a very timely fashion so that our first group to come through to be working on that walkway, which was the Kearney National Honor Society group. They were there yesterday and today all day, hence the pinkness to me. But we have made a very good start. It is going to be very, by the time it's done, about another 5 weeks, and we should see the end of it. So keep your eyes peeled as you drive by.
From memory, do you remember when the family donated that ground to us on that park? For that park?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The
09.
Hall family, it's
What do you
been a
know?
while. Mhm.
I don't know.
12 years or so. Was there any promise of a project within any time?
No.
No.
Okay.
There was not a specific
Okay.
time.
Okay.
We promised we would do it as soon as we had funding.
There was limitations of what they wanted in the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. That wraps up all of the discussion. Do we have do we entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Right.
We are adjourned. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you.